Two of the most common ways for teens to communicate are through email and instant messages. They also often visit online chat rooms. Any one of these types of communication can make it easier for kids to stay in touch with friends and family, but kids should be careful how they use them. You can help to keep children safe online by educating yourself about how the different types of technology work. Give it a try. Once you're more familiar with chatting, for example, you'll know how to talk to kids about it. There are other things you can do to keep the lines of communication open between you and the kids in your life. We've listed some ideas for you here. If you plan to monitor teens' online communications, you need to understand the lingo. Kids use all kinds of abbreviations as codes when they chat, email, and text. They've even got codes that let others know when an adult is watching. Whenever teens communicate online, it's important for them to remember to keep their identity safe. One way to do that is to use a strong password to help protect themselves from hackers. While some people might think of hackers as brainiacs with supercomputers, that's not always the case. It can be friends, former friends, or even strangers who infect a computer with a keylogger. Before you can teach kids how to create strong passwords, you have to know how to do it yourself. Take a look at our guidelines to find out what you need to do. Think you know what a strong password looks like? Let's see if you're on the right track. Once teens are ready to start emailing, IMing, and chatting, there are some things they need to remember to stay safe online. Take a look at our list of things to keep in mind. Sometimes, even when teens do everything right, they can still get into bad situations online. Take a look at this scenario. What would you tell this teen to do? The important thing to remember about the previous scenario is that the people kids meet online aren't always who they say they are. Kids need to be reminded of this so that they remember to refrain from giving out too much information or getting too close to people they don't know in real life. People who are predators often try to make kids think they're younger than they are. They will work to gain a child's trust before doing anything that might be suspicious. So teach kids that they can never let their guard down. Online predators use a number of methods to try to find victims. See if you can recognize some of them here, and then click Next to learn more. As you could probably tell from the previous question, predators can be very good at gaining a young person's trust before they do anything suspicious. To help protect kids from online predators and potential harassment, there are several things you can do. We've listed some of them for you here. Sometimes, teens might find that someone they know is harassing them online. These people might think it's funny, or they may be trying to embarrass the teen. But it's still considered cyberbullying, and it's still wrong. One of the most important things to teach teens about chatting, IMing, and emailing is about their own use of the technology. Sometimes, teens can feel anonymous when they use these tools, and they might be tempted to harass someone else because they think it's harmless. It's not, and they could face serious consequences. Email is certainly not immune to harassment. Kids also have to be careful about opening email messages when they're not sure of the source. Take a look at this inbox so that you have an idea of what types of messages to tell kids to delete. Sometimes kids might be more cautious when they email than when they IM, because it seems more permanent. But they're not that different. Did you know that most IM providers will allow you to archive your conversations so that you can look at them later? This is a good thing to point out to teens. Ask them to think about how they'd feel if something they said in a private instant message was suddenly made public. Some teens might feel like instant messaging is less personal than email. So what about chat rooms? You can imagine that teens feel pretty anonymous when they chat, but they should still be cautious. Take a look at this chat and see if you can identify anything that might give personal information away. The truth is, kids have to be just as careful when they chat as when they email or IM, perhaps even more careful. Even when they think they're on a safe site, they can never be sure who they're chatting with. Chat rooms are the #1 place for predators online. Technology offers us so many wonderful ways to stay in touch with people in our lives. It would be a shame to be scared to use it. Despite the risks, teens are going to want to chat, IM, and email. Make sure they know how to be smart about it. Here are some real-life examples of how the concepts discussed in this lesson could be used in a classroom, either as a teaching tool or an administrative aid.